Okay, good afternoon, our viewers, wherever you are. Today we are joined by Head of Recruitment for Farsley Celtic. He's known, his nickname, they call him Jomo, and his full name is Jomo Dyson Zapasi. Currently, he's holding a post which I'm going to ask him shortly, as we have just started. Mr. Jomo Dyson, tell us something. You have been recently appointed head of recruitment for Farsley Celtic, one of top grassroots senior professional team in Yorkshire. Can you try to tell us more about your appointment so that the listeners who are watching you right now can benefit and understand the position which you are holding right now? I'm sure I don't know much into the football administration, and it demands and it requires a lot of experience to be recruited the head of recruitment for an English club. It's not something to joke by. Can you shed more light on that?
STEWIE, thank you so much for bringing me to this show. I again introduce myself. My name is Dyson Zapasi. I prefer to be called Jomo. That's my nickname. Maybe people call me Jomo because of my huge size in body, or maybe after the former Kenyan president, Jomo Kenyatta, because I like promoting people. I'm a community-based person. Anyway, going straight on to the question, I've recently been appointed the head of recruitment for Farsley Celtic, a top grassroots team in Yorkshire, in Leeds, a semi-professional team. My role is to develop players up to under 23 age group, with special emphasis on 16-year-olds to 23-year-olds. We take late developers and kids released from academies. You know, majority of academy players in England, at the age of 16, they get released. Almost 80% kids that you know in academies, they get released at 16. So what we basically do is we just take those kids, put them into one team, then we provide them education, and then also keep them in stronger teams. We give them opportunities to play championship, premiership, League One, League Two teams. And also, I think people who follow my Facebook, I've been to Holland, Belgium, France, talking to teams so that I can get these boys opportunities. So this kind of job, like you said, you need to have a good experience to be given that role. Yes, I've got over 10 years experience in grassroots football.
Okay, so if I understood you very well, at one time you were having a profession which was totally different from this rich soccer life which you are into today. I understand you have got a totally administrative, which was more into commerce. Your background has got something to do with finance. If I'm not mistaken, you did your honors at NAST in Zimbabwe. So can you make your followers and those who are watching right now, what then made you to leave the finance background and then opt for this soccer life?
Yeah, very interesting question, STEWIE. I hold a bachelor's degree in finance from NAST, and I have a master's degree in international business from Wolverhampton Business School. Like you've said, I'm a trained investment banker. I work for NMB Bank, Zimbabwe Infrastructure Bank, and Tetrad Bank from Zimbabwe. That's my area which my parents helped me to achieve and to do. And I'm thankful I got insight into a lot of business projects and ideas. So being in the first world country, sport here is well developed. Infrastructure is in abundance. Like everyone knows how lucrative the English Premier League is, the Champions League is. So I just got the opportunity to take my son to Sunday League football. I used to take my son, I used to volunteer, carry other kids, and until I then set up what is called PI, Positive Youth Empowerment, my own voluntary organization, which I later on transformed into a soccer school. And then at that time, I had about over 100 kids. Then Leeds United Academy offered me a job as a scout and rose through the ranks to be a senior scout. And I did amazing work at Leeds United, I'll tell you. I had my good 4-year stint. I took a handful of boys into their academy. I mean, it's not a lie. This is not a secret. I was the best academy scout 3 years in a row at Leeds United. That's the club where I made myself a name. When I set up my independent soccer school, rival teams, everyone was after me. I remained neutral. If you go on my page, Positive Youth Empowerment, which I entitled PYE Soccer Schools, PYE TSM, Football Elite Academy. That's my page. You can see my achievements there. I've worked from my soccer school. In working with other people, I don't want to take all the credit. You see, to achieve in life, you need to surround yourself with people who are positive-minded. I was very fortunate guy because almost half Leeds United Academy coaches, I became friends to them. Even support from the head of recruitment, Harry Potter. So I opened development centers in Leeds around 2013. At that time, Leeds had slowed down on development centers due to financial hardships. You know, Leeds is a big club, but due to financial hardships, they went down. So now they're on their upward trend, and hopefully they'll be in premiership soon. But at that time, I started running development centers in Bradford and in Leeds. That's how I got myself into football. It was hard work. I'm a passionate guy. When I set myself to do something, I do with passion, and I really did my best. And this project, I went on to have players signed by many teams. I'll just mention a few. Sheffield Wednesday with over four players there. Leeds United with over 8 academy players. With players signed in Hull City. With players signed in Sheffield United. With players signed in Oldham. With a boy after the Manchester Cup. With a boy Dylan, he signed from our project by Man United. As a 15-year-old, Blackburn Rovers. So a lot of clubs came and took the boys from our center, and I was working with a lot of majority Leeds United Academy coaches coming to help me. I'm not a coach. My talent is, like you said, in commerce. I'm a good marketer by birth, and I understand business. I understand teamwork, so I could coordinate the coaches. I could coordinate the parents. I also give thanks to the Yorkshire parents, largely white, and the blacks were a minority here. I had massive support from the white community, I'm telling you. At one stage, it was almost 95% were only white kids when I started. But sometimes, I will tell you something, because I never played football. To tell people, let's say Zimbabweans and other black communities, that I can run a soccer school, I can do this, people didn't believe in me. I will be honest up front. People didn't believe me. People believed me when I had my first 3 signings in the academy. I posted on Facebook, and everyone said, wow, this guy is serious. But largely here, the advantage is, with the English communities, That's one thing I like about the West. If you are talented, it's good. They appreciate me. They give me the opportunity to manage their kids. Every corner of Yorkshire, my friend, they know Jomo. Every grassroots team, every tournament, I used to go. Sometimes people didn't understand my passion. Like grassroots teams, some coaches will not like me because I've taken their best boy and put him in Sheffield United or put him in Leeds United. The team is left weak. But my passion is to see these kids get into professional teams at young age. And that's the best. It's easy to get in academy as a young player than as a player from the age of 16. It's not easy in England to get into academies. So my passion was to see kids play professional football. You know, sometimes when you're passionate, people may misunderstand you. So it was not an easy work. I think I received the most complaints at the FA, county FA offices. Even at Leeds United, people were complaining, oh, this guy is coming to disrupt us, or he's taking our players, or this. But over time, people saw that this guy is harmless. This guy is here to promote talent. So Farsley Celtic is not the only first club I've been given a role. At Yorkshire Amateurs, which is 100 years old, I'm actually a senior official there. At one point, my title was a director of football for Yorkshire Amateurs. I'm talking of a club which is 100 years old. So,
And okay. Did you finish?
Yeah, yeah. Like on the banking career, yes, I left working in the bank, but I'm an entrepreneur. I do various projects. Like I've got cars, vehicle advertising, and selling a company. I'm a director for Pi Sports Management. You know, Yakubu, who plays for Everton. He owns the Yak Sports company. He's my business partner. Luteo James, another prominent Yorkshire sports businessman, is my business partner. We do projects. Neil Ross, a top coach and a well-known football developer, is also my business partner. I've got different partners, people I work for me to earn the status I have. So I cannot take all the credit. Team Zimbabwe, Mr. Marshall Gore, I work with him. He invited me to work with him to handle recruitment for him. So for you to achieve success, you have to work with others. Like I give special mention to Philip Zulu. He's the man who also played a part for me to get into football. He's a well-known football developer, and I also give credit to him. I met another guy, Victor White. He helped me. Victor White is the one who took me to Leeds United and introduced me to Terry Potter. And then I got signed as a scout. Both Victor White, I used to work for his club as a coach. I'm a coach, FA coach. I used to coach under nines for Kipton Juniors. So this kind of success, you cannot make it in your vacuum. You need other people to help you. So I cannot give myself credit or beat my chest and say, oh, I'm a champion. I'm this. Yorkshire Amateurs, it was my friend Neil Simpson who took me to Yorkshire Amateurs. And when I started my soccer schools, him and my late friend, Caesar, they were working at Leeds United. We formed this soccer school. So I've got marketing skills, but other guys have got technical skills. Like some of the guys I've mentioned, they came in and this work started. So I don't want to beat my chest and say, oh, I'm the best. No, I'm a team player. Everything I do, I work with others as a team. So...
Okay. And then there is something which I also wanted to know for maybe our viewers and those who might then want to also follow your footsteps. You talked of the challenges we managed to overcome up until today. Is it something which is easier for an outsider? Now I understand now you are a British Zimbabwean staying there. So, but I just wanted to ask if someone is coming outside where you are based right now, and has got a passion to be involved into what we are doing right now. Are there some challenges which one needs to maybe a picture of and to overcome?
Yeah, like any society, the British society is like any other society. In any society, if a foreigner or from another place, it could be white from Germany, it could be white from London coming into Yorkshire. It's not easy to penetrate a new environment because you need to study the cultural dynamics. You need to study the political dynamics. You need to study the social dynamics. So this is how I maneuver. I look at these principles. Then I see how can I maneuver myself. One thing I'll tell you with the Western society, if you are good, you excel. Western society, be it America, be it England, is not for average people. If you're excellent and good, here they give you raw. Here you can do even better than your own country where you're born. If you're exceptionally talented, look at black players. They're doing well, like Drogba's. They did well here. Samuel Otel came here. He did well. A lot of black players have done well. If you are good, you are good. It's the same thing in the grassroots. I think it's not easy to go to Leeds United Academy. The head of recruitment calls you and say, Tyson, in 10-year history, you're one of our best scouts. It's not easy. But in any society, if you are analytical, you also do self-appraisal. Check on yourself, make yourself better. In myself, when I went to scouting, I said I want to be one of the best scouts, and I achieved that. So what I can tell people, especially who want to do the kind of work I'm doing, like here in the Western countries, like here where I am, one, be positive. That's the first principle. Two, don't look at negatives. Like me, I want to be honest. The people who put me where I am are white people, the Yorkshire people. They supported me. They supported my vision. They believed in me. They saw my passion. I was honest. You see what I mean? So I didn't see any problem.
Yeah.
So if you're a good person and a hard worker, everybody will appreciate you. Color doesn't mean anything, or social status or background. It means nothing. But if you are genuine, honest, hardworking, my friend, people will like you. This is one of my best projects I've done, where I've been appreciated by people. I'm telling you.
Okay. And whilst before we started this show, when I was checking your profile, when I was checking your work which you are doing, I then realized that at one time you have got a scheme of providing scholarships. Who benefits these scholarships, and how do you disperse them? Who benefits the entire? Your players, or they are specific who can then benefit to this scheme? It's something which I read before we started this show.
Okay, thank you for asking. The scholarship program we have is Farsley Celtic. It has been running now into second season, and I just joined in as head of recruitment because they appreciated my ability to eye for talent. I like working with talented boys. I enjoy working with football talent. I put good teams that go to academies and put good shows, and that's how I get players signed. So this scholarship program, we're looking at boys who are 16. We want to further their career in football. If you look at teams like Leeds United, Sheffield United, Manchester City, Manchester United, first-year scholars, majority of them, they sign maybe 7 players, 6 players, first-year scholars, which means I'll tell you almost 70% all academy players, or 80% academy players across board in England, all divisions, they get released. It doesn't mean they are not good, but it's just a game of numbers. Those clubs, they manage numbers. So what we then do now, we take those boys from different places. We're not just looking at academy players only. There are also boys that were never in academies. But at the age of 16, they start getting better. I'm seeing this with my own son. He never used to do kick-ups or use both legs or technical. I'm seeing his improvement. The older he's getting, he's maturing, he's getting better. So those kind of players, we take them, we train them from 16, 17, 18. Some at 19, you hear them playing first team for the championship or premiership team. So so we take local kids across England. But also we're working on a model to recruit in Africa for Farsley Celtic, to recruit in the Caribbean, to recruit from America, from Canada. We're going to have international recruitment. Definitely, it's on the cards, and we're discussing about it. Then myself, as a football entrepreneur, through Pi Sports Management, I'm already a partner for a club in Canada. I'm actually looking for talented boys to take to Canada. And in a minute, I was helping kids from Africa. You know, every year I go to Zambia. I'm a partner of Janza Soccer Schools. After Corona, I'm going to go back and recruit players for the Canadian scholarship. And then here, once we sort out one or two things, we may recruit players also for scholarship here. So the project is open to talented boys who have self-belief. Even if they don't make it to play first teams, they'll finish with a degree in football, a qualification in football, a qualification in business, and we also prepare them for university. They can go further to university with the kind of qualification that we give them, a BTech. They can go to any place they want in life. It's not about just playing football. We need football administrators. We need football federations directors. We need also the club owners of tomorrow. The game is going to continue. So all this is part of work of preparing young people into future. So
we are almost waiting. Okay, yeah, you go on.
Yeah, so that's all I have for now. For you, sorry.
Yes, we're almost winding up now. There is a lot of information, especially in Africa. Young, talented soccer players, what they just want at times is just to see themselves being recruited with these big overseas clubs. But maybe as an advice, which you can also give to those people who are listening right now, what can these young players, maybe down there in Zimbabwe there, or any part of Africa, what is expected from them, and are you able to take them as young at which age exactly for them to be able to maybe cross and then come there overseas to one of your clubs there, and then you tape them once they are young? Is it possible? And what are they paperwork? What is the legality along those lines?
Okay, football, like any other business, it has got rules and regulations. The first regulation that everyone, every parent, every soccer fanatic must understand is that movement of children is regulated. So many safeguarding issues involved. So let's say a player from Zimbabwe is 16, 17. Legally, it's hard to move him. He's going to be 18 years of age as an adult. Remember, Barcelona was banned after taking kids from Cameroon, 8 players plus. A lot of people don't know that Barcelona was banned for recruiting young African players below 18. The rule doesn't allow movement of kids under 18 to big clubs. It's tough. But what I can tell boys is that from they need to work hard. Say 17-year-old, work hard. You need to be physically strong. So a lot of boys that get scouted when they are 17, then they wait when they're 18, then they snap them up. So, but the competition, that's one area when I went to Africa, people, they don't realize how tough it is to break into a European team. Because the competition, you're looking at 20,000, 10,000 players fighting for one position of similar ability. You have to be good at what you do. And anybody can get chance. Anybody can get chance as long as you're good. Sometimes you also need lucky, like I would say that. Because me and you are from Africa, we know a lot of players that are talented, but nobody has seen them. So I can tell you something from my experience. I've helped a few boys that if I had not scouted them, probably they won't be where they are. Because you need somebody to see you. Like myself, I'm one guy who is fortunate in this country. I can ring straight in academy manager and say, this player is good. And they say, bring him for trial, I said. But there's no, I'm honest. So you have to be honest to keep your integrity. And most trials that I take players through that way, it's 80% success. I will never take anybody who is average or not good enough to any club. Because I want to keep my reputation for eyeing the best talent. For what I can tell the young players overseas, one, you need to be physically fit. Two, you need to have right attitude. The kids in Africa have got right attitude compared to young players in Europe. Because the environment there compels them to be focused. Because they know if I make it in football, I've escaped from poverty. You understand? I like the attitude of players overseas in places like Africa. They've got discipline, and I love recruiting players there. I can tell you straight away, I will be recruiting players in Africa for European teams. I'm ready to that. I'm ready for that. So I want young players who are dedicated, who are honest. But I can tell you one disappointing thing: the level of dishonesty is too much with the African boys, and it puts off a lot of scouts. I talk to scouts, and I also talk to agencies. They don't respect contracts. You ring a player, you say, do you have an agent or do you have a scout who manages you? They say, no, I don't have. Well, now you start doing the paperwork processing. 5 people, they come to you, he's my player for this contract. So we need to teach our kids professionalism. There's no professionalism. One is going to be very careful if you're taking a player from Africa. Otherwise, if you're a paid businessman, you can work for nothing. Me, if I'm taking a player from Africa, I'll do paralegal check. You see, here in England, every player that is assigned, they've got what is called wholesome game system. A player will never sign with 2 or 3 agencies. Like what I saw in Africa, it's horrible. So as an African, I need also to go and advocate for good practices in football. Teach young people to be professional. Hey, my friend, that's one thing that puts off, or even sometimes it puts me off. Why? What people don't understand, Stewie. There's plenty black talent in Europe, and clubs are aware. In England, London, massive talent. You go to Paris, I was in Paris, massive talent. I went to one club, I won't mention the name. 90% were black players in the whole academy. So, and people in Africa, they start doing these funny games. Nobody will come there and take players. I talk to people in recruitment. We need to change our professionalism for us to get people to like us. This business where a club is coming after a player. I know a Zimbabwean group of players that went to Eastern Europe through my friend links. After being successful, the businessman and the friend that brought these kids to the Eastern European team, they were sidelined by these boys at the point of signing contracts. The boys start saying, oh, I've got Mr. So-and-so. You know what they did, the team and my friend? They just canceled the whole deal. And one of them who was successful is playing in South Africa, a low team in South Africa. The rest, you don't even know where they've gone. These boys had potential. So dishonesty can kill a potential.
So I wanted to touch on the issue of dishonest, and then we pick that comment which is on the screen there. There is issue of age cheating in Africa. Most Africa. There are other continents. I want to speak of something which I know. I'm sorry because those people who are following us right now, they might then say maybe I might be too harsh to our continent. But if we want to be honest, and if we want this show to be more like exciting, we need to be truth to ourselves. There's rampant age cheating in Africa. Have you ever faced that challenge yourself? And what is your comment, even if you didn't face that challenge?
Yeah, myself, 90% of the players that I mentor, they're all European and British players. I went to Zambia. I saw a few boys with potential. So we're trying to create a model where we can move them here. Age cheating, you can't tell me about this one because I saw it with my eyes when I was in Africa. I literally grew up in Africa and came to England when I was 27. I'm 44 now. I've lived long enough here. Age cheating is there in Africa. It's not a lie. Because if you take a 21-year-old man, put him in under 17s, he's got more power, he's got more pace. And in Africa, it favors people who are slim, like in Shora, I call them Twakatsonga. If you look at me with my big body, I look like I'm 50, I'm 44. But you look at my brother, who is 50, he looks like he's 40. So people use those things to cheat. And the cheating, I tell you, it's like stealing. It's not good because imagine a talented 16-year-old. He can't play for Zimbabwe under 17. They're taking a 21-year-old to play for under 17. That's disgusting. That one I'll fight until my death. I don't want age cheaters in football. That one must be fought. It's a dangerous cancer. Because you see what is happening? Somebody starts football at the age of 10. At 16 is ready for under 17. Somebody, the father or the parent didn't invest in him. In 16, he starts football. He's 21, he wants to play for under 17. That's nonsense. That's obnoxious. We don't want that. So age cheating is not a Zimbabwean problem only. Across Africa, Nigeria, they're champions. Zambia, everywhere is there. Age cheating. Me, I hate age cheaters. I discover a player is cheating age, straight away I terminate the relationship. Age cheating.
And then I'm sure that is a parent there, and he's asking, what about a player of 18 years? If I'm not mistaken, I'm sure I must be knowing this parent and the player. But they are asking age range here, and I'm sure you touched a lot on that. Like maybe if they are in Africa there, you cannot take maybe underage because, the club will be penalized. But how about a player who is, I'm sure, 18 years or above 18 years and is skilled and talented?
There are two approaches here to this question. The first approach, there are 18-year-olds who are very talented, but there's no one to give them opportunity. If you don't know anyone at Cape United, you don't know anyone at Dynamos, you don't know anyone at Zamalek, you don't know anyone at Kaizer Chiefs, your talent will die. So me, when I come to Africa, the first thing I look for those kids who are not in top teams. Yes. I can tell you that's where you get the best talent because most of them are so talented, they want to prove a point and nobody's giving them opportunity. Then you've got the fortunate ones who are at that age 18, they've been fortunate to find a club to play. But there's also corruption. You don't know anybody, you won't play. So for me, I go in the grassroots. I invite players to come. I bring experts. When I'm coming to Zimbabwe, when I'm going to Zambia, I'm going to take my friends, the UFRB coaches, and to say, you guys from Africa coaches, sit on the bench. They are not involved. Bring the players, and we choose the players we see as good. That's how we do trials. I don't listen to people to say, oh, this one is the best. Football is like boxing. Put people on the pitch. Corruption is everywhere. You know, like when I was doing my scouting, people, they'll hear a scout is coming. They take the best player, they put him on the bench. So me, I would say, can I see that on the bench? There's a boy who was seated on the bench. He came in, played 5 minutes. I took his details. He's playing for the championship academy. Because I know the coaches were hiding him from me. So all these things were a smart scout. You know them. So when you come to look for talent, we'll go to schools, we'll go to corners in the streets. You go everywhere. That's how you like Grabowski, you know, the Polish guy, Grabowski used to take kids from the streets and get them to top teams. That's how scouting is done. Then also, Mr. Nube asked that question that, how about 18-year-olds? Me, if you're 18 years of age and you can't play for Dynamos, or you're in Dynamo's team, you're 18 years and you're not a star, forget about playing for a team like Leeds United. Forget. How can you play for Leeds United when you can't perform for Dynamos? But look at Peter Love, at the age of 17, 18, he was a star player in Highlanders, a top team. Yeah, he was a star player in Zimbabwe under 23s and went to Coventry City. Benjani, he was a star player for Zimbabwe Jets, star player for Jomo Cosmos, and went to Swiss Grasshoppers, and he ended up in Manchester City. So you have to be distinguished where you are. Like I said, there are boys who don't get opportunities, but be distinguished in the street. I want to walk in the street of Seke, street of Mare, and so on and say, there's this guy Kilani is a player. Wow, he's top. I go to Kilani's house. I bring him. Kilani, come with me. I've got contacts now. I know club owners. Let's go to South Africa at Black Leopards. I've spoken to the team owner and have a look at you. So that's how I create opportunities for underprivileged boys.
I'm sure off air when we finish this show, there is something which I want to ask on the issue of 18 years and above, because there are issues whereby maybe this player might be this young, talented soccer player, might be in Binga or in those remote areas whereby recognition might be a challenge, or that player might be still about to finish or pursuing his high school A-level or something like that. We'll touch on that one. I'm sure this parent at one time might need that clarification of air. What I wanted to then check in short and in brief is that 5 years from now, Mr. Jomo Zapasi Dyson, you will be what? What are your plans 5 years from now? You are running a good academy, a soccer academy right now. You are having other businesses, which might be my other last question. But in as far as soccer is concerned, 5 years from now, what are your plans?
Me, I'm a passionate guy. 5 years from now, if I don't own a club, I'll be a failure. My dream is to own a team. I want to buy a soccer club. I won't beat about the bush and lie. I'm an investment banker. I do consultants. I'm doing now private equities, corporate finance work. And one of my dreams is to raise money and buy a team where I'm part of the ownership. Whether it's in England or it's in Zambia or it's in Zimbabwe, I want to follow the footsteps of Jomo Sono, own my own team, have my influence. You know, all these boys are talking of who are underprivileged. I'm a team owner who understands football. I go in the ghettos and get the best boys and put a strong team that smash teams or players get opportunities elsewhere to bigger clubs. So it's my dream. My dream is to own a team football club. That's my dream. I want to do it. 5 years is too much. I'll be too old 5 years. I want to do it now when I've got strength.
I understand.
On Pi Sports Management, which gives me access to manage, put help to kids, promote them, and I've got these roles with other established organizations where I work to promote kids. I mean, I'm in this self-environment. I'm working the dream.
I'm sure you exhausted a lot of issues which I might have wanted to ask you, and maybe also from our viewers, the comments, you answered them exceptionally well. So beside football, as we speak right now, do you have other business ventures? Sorry to maybe get into your personal side whilst we are about to sign out.
No, okay, like business ventures, like I own a company called Carsden that advertise and sell trucks and private cars. Then also I'm back into consultancy, corporate finance and advisory work. I'm slowly doing it. I'm back in the finance sector, and also I want to do a lot of voluntary work, helping boys from societies, underprivileged kids. It's my trademark. I like working with the underprivileged. So that's what I do. That's what I do.
This was an awesome show. I never expected it to be such remarkable and outstanding. I'm sure some of the viewers will then maybe follow your show when we upload it on our YouTube channel. Very excellent. And myself, my wish is to meet you one day. I've been always having this undying passion to have you on my shows, and also my other next wish is to meet you in person, and then also get to share, because you see now here we are confined to a limited space of in regard to time, but the show was excellent. You personally answered me, and I'm sure when you don't see much comments, it means to say people are understanding, they are liking what you are saying, and everything is perfectly done. Your last words in as far as COVID-19, anything to say, anything to encourage your followers, your supporters?
Stay safe, guys. Let me just show you something. Hold on. Protect yourself. Stay safe. Maintain 2-meter distance, and have your mask with you. If you've got a cold, or you have what do you call them, mucus coming out, or you think you've got symptoms, just cover yourself and protect other people from infection. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Say good.